Section 1, Listening. In this section of the test, you will hear conversations and answer some questions about them. For each conversation, first read the situation and the question or questions. Then, listen to the conversation. Answer the questions after you hear the conversation. Respond to the questions by marking the correct answer, A, B, C, or D, on your answer sheet. Read the example situation and question. When ready, go to the next recording. Now listen to the example conversation.
English Language Center, may I help you?
Yes, I need to talk with an advisor.
Can you come today?
No, I have class this afternoon. How about tomorrow?
In the morning? How's 9 o'clock?
That's great. Now, answer the example question. Read situation 1 and the question. Now listen to the conversation. Oh, hi Mariko. How are you?
Good, thanks. And you?
Fine. Do you know Alex? He's an old friend.
It's nice to meet you, Alex.
Nice to meet you too, Mariko. Question 2. Listen to the conversation. So, what can I get for your first course, ma'am?
Let's see. I can either have the soup or salad, right?
Ah, that's right.
Well, I hardly ever get soup. I guess I'll have that.
Now answer question 2. Situation 3. Now listen to the conversation. Hello, is Ramon home?
No, I'm sorry. He's still at school. He has class until 5.
Does he usually come home right after class?
Yes, he usually gets here by 5:30. Can I take a message?
Yes, please. Please ask him to call Joe Perez when he has time. Thanks. Now answer question 3.
Situation 4. Now listen to the report.
Here's today's weather. It will be a typical spring day in much of the country. California will be warm and dry, with temperatures in the 70s and 80s. If you live in the Northwest, expect some rain. In fact, it's raining in Seattle now. In New York, it will be cool and cloudy with temperatures in the 50s, but no rain is expected, at least for a few days.
Now answer questions 4 and 5.
Situation 5. Now listen to the conversation. Hey Audrey, this is Jeff. Can we plan our meeting now?
Sure.
How would you like to have the meeting at lunch tomorrow?
I'd love to, but I can't. I don't get out of another meeting until 2.
Oh man, do you have time before that meeting? Say at 10?
That doesn't give us much time. Say, how about a late lunch, just after 2?
I think that would be okay. Now answer questions 6 and 7. Situation 6. Now listen to the conversation. What are your summer plans, Sue?
Well, I really don't know yet. My family usually doesn't go anywhere, but this year we're probably going to the beach.
So what will you do there?
My dad likes fishing, my brother likes to swim, and my mother wants to visit friends.
And you?
Well, I like to do things on my own, so I may rent a sailboat and learn how to sail.
Now that sounds great. I wish I could do that. Now answer questions 8 and 9. Situation 7. Now listen to the conversation. What's wrong, Peggy? You look upset.
I am upset. It's about my car. I let Carla use it because she said she'd give it back right away, but she had a little accident. Nothing serious, but it has to be fixed before I can drive it.
Isn't she going to pay for it?
Yes, but I need the car now, not next week.
Can't you borrow one from someone else?
Sure, I can always ask my parents if I need to, but it just makes me mad. I shouldn't have lent her the car.
I know how you feel. Lending something to a friend can affect a relationship, especially when something happens.
That's why I never lend money to friends. I shouldn't lend cars either.
Now answer questions 10, 11, and 12. Situation 8. Now listen to the conversation.
Have you been outside the country much, Frank?
Yeah, quite a bit. I went down to Argentina once with my family when I was younger. And I traveled in Europe with my cousin Chad after we graduated from high school.
Really? What was Europe like? I haven't been there yet.
It was great. We traveled everywhere. I think the only country we missed was Norway, although we would have liked to have seen it. But how about you, Liz? Have you traveled much?
Well, I've lived abroad. My dad's company sent him to China, so we lived in Beijing for a couple of years. We wound up seeing a lot. Thailand, Indonesia, Japan.
Wow, that sounds great.
It was. We made friends with the Chinese family and learned a lot about the culture. The only problem was the language. We all expected to pick up Chinese, but we didn't learn much.
Did you get homesick?
A little. You know, I love new things, though I don't think I'd be happy always living abroad. But we knew we'd be there for 2 years, so we made the most of it.
Now answer questions 13, 14, 15, and 16. Situation 9. Now listen to the conversation. So, Margaret, how did you wind up being a fashion designer?
Well, you know, I did go to design school. I had just finished up my coursework when one of my teachers told me about an opening in a small fashion design company. I applied for it and I got it, and the things just went on from there.
Did you always want to be a fashion designer?
Pretty much. When I was a little girl, I used to dream about making beautiful clothes and all that, but I never knew how hard it would become to become established. How about you, Ben? Did you always want to be a newspaper reporter?
Well, not exactly. My parents wanted me to become a doctor or a lawyer, but what I really liked to do was read novels and write. I wanted to become a famous writer or maybe teach literature in college or something.
So what happened?
Well, I really didn't have anything I wanted to write about, and I realized that becoming a professor would take a lot of work, just too much school. In fact, if I decided to become a teacher, I'd still be in college. Anyway, I like what I do now.
You do?
Yeah, being a newspaper reporter is hard work, but it's fun too. Now answer questions 17, 18, 19, and 20.